We continue to roll on with Take Me to Your Leader Tuesday. We're going to talk about art again, and we're going to draw this. Greetings, people of the internet. I'm Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. Welcome to the underground laboratory where we create what? Robots, aliens, zombies, and other imminent threats to humanity. And today we're going to continue on with our series that we've been doing. We've already done 2 of these before, and this would be the 3rd one, and I think we've got 1 more for the month of March. And then it's kind of up to you guys to carry on the tradition with this Take Me to Your Leader Tuesday. So what exactly is Take Me to Your Leader Tuesday? Well, it's an art challenge where every Tuesday you draw an alien, which is pretty cool because there's so many different ways you can go with this challenge. And I'm trying to switch it up a little bit here and there. For instance, so the first one that I did was this blue, kind of blue rat, space rat smuggler guy. And then I drew this kind of slimy alien guy. So this time, you know, these ones kind of have more of a, I guess, a little bit of a masculine feel. So I thought I'd go a little feminine with the next one and do more of sort of a, I don't know, an alien, like reptile, female warrior type. So that's what I'm going to work on today. But yeah, so if you guys are participating in this challenge, all you have to do is do an alien every Tuesday, share your work on social media, and then hashtag it with either Take Me to Your Leader Tuesday, which is kind of long, but you can, it kind of makes more sense than the other version, which is just the initials, because unless you know what we're talking about, it just looks like a bunch of gobbledygook, but it's a lot shorter. So you can use either one of those and just hashtag Take Me to Your Leader Tuesday or each one of those initials and share it on Facebook, Instagram, or if you're doing YouTube, film the video and let me know about it, and then maybe we can hook you up, connect you to the little playlist that we got going on. So when people are checking out these videos in the playlist, maybe yours will pop up. That would be pretty cool, huh? Well, okay, so I'm going to get to work on this, and I don't know what we're going to talk about today. Something art related, I'm sure, but we'll know in just a minute, and let me get to it. So I was trying to come up with an idea for this video, and I thought, well, maybe I'll put it out to the artist community and kind of get your guys' input. And then a little light bulb clicked in my head, and I thought, well, that's it. That's the topic, artist communities. Because we live in this wonderful age where through the internet we can just connect with, you know, people like ourselves who are going through the same things, who maybe can answer questions we have or just commiserate on topics. And it's really awesome. It's something that, you know, growing up, you know, when I was first starting off as an artist, the internet wasn't that prevalent, and we really didn't have that. It was hard to kind of connect with other people like us that, you know, that we could share tips and all that. So so that's kind of what I want to talk about today. But before I do that, I do want to kind of talk about the drawing itself. So right now I'm just kind of laying out the gesture, and then I'm going to start filling in some of the details, which I'm doing now. So yeah, I wanted this one to be a little more feminine, and I think she's going to be a little, you know, probably more a reptile, or I don't know. We'll see when we get a little further along. Sometimes when I start drawings, I don't exactly know what I'm going to do. I did know that I wanted her to have some sort of breathing apparatus, so she would be like whatever planet she's on, or she's in space or whatever, she would need something extra to breathe because she's an extraterrestrial. So that's kind of what I'm going for now, and I wanted her to be a little, I don't know, she's got some high-tech gadgets and things like that, so we'll see as far as like her weaponry and all that. But for this, I'm using a Prismacolor Colorase pencil. That's what I use to just sketch. A lot of sketches I use that. So I'll kind of get back to talking about the drawing itself when we get to the next stage, which will be inking, but right now we're just kind of penciling everything. So anyway, as far as artist communities and just the benefit of being able to network and everything just through the internet, or, you know, you can have in real life. I mean, it's kind of sad I don't get to do that as much nowadays, but I did start a long time ago. I started this little local group of artists along with a friend of mine. Actually, he was kind of the one to push that, and then the two of us kind of started this thing, because usually I need a little nudging before I kind of take charge and do something like that, because I'm always, you know, I'm just kind of in my own little bubble doing my own thing, and that's why artist communities are so important, because we can get out of that bubble and we can talk to other people, and you know, so we're not all alone. So one of the things that got me also thinking about this topic is we just had Dan Ekus on the Artcaster show, and I just discovered his channel probably like maybe a week or two ago, and after that I had to talk to the guy because he's doing some really cool stuff. So if you haven't seen that episode, go check that out. It's on my channel. But yeah, and he's doing some just awesome things as far as building communities and things like that through his email list, and then he's got these mastermind groups. And if you're not familiar with what a mastermind group is, it's just a group of, in this case, artists that kind of get together, share ideas, bounce things back and forth, and it's just a good way to come up with ideas and just sort of brainstorm. And it can go further than that, help each other with their projects, and it's something that I kind of would like to maybe start my own with some of my friends, and kind of do this sometimes before the Artcaster show. Me and Josh will talk about things like that, or whoever the guests we have on. So we do a little bit of that, but I maybe want to take it you know, a few steps further. But like I said, so back to the drawing. I am for the inking. I use a number of different things. Sometimes I use a dip pen or a brush actually. And you know, India ink, but I like these Kuretake brush pens, and I will leave links to these tools in the description. But so I'm just going to ink this, and then we'll take this to color just like we did the previous two in this series. Yeah, so there's a number of different artist groups I am involved with on the internet, artist communities. I guess the biggest one would probably just be, there's not really a name for it. That's something that I do want to kind of attach to, as a sort of a name around people that kind of are in my chat, or people that show up more often than not, or you know, there's people that kind of pop in here and there, and there's people that I see all the time, or just kind of people that are interested in the kind of stuff that I'm doing. I'll have to come up with sort of an idea for a name attached to that, but whatever, just the YouTube community, the YouTube family, whatever you want to call it. People that have different names for their own, you know, artist communities. But one thing I really try to do, and as my channel continues to grow, and it's still, you know, compared to a lot of people, it's still relatively small, but one thing, and when it gets huge, I might not be able to do this, well, assuming it gets huge, that would be nice, huh? But if it gets too out of hand, I may not be able to talk to every single person that comments, and that's going to be sort of a sad day, but it'll be cool, because it just shows that my channel's growing. But right now, at the stage it's in right now, I have the ability to contact, or not contact, but respond to pretty much anyone that leaves a message or whatever. I try to do that. I try my best to respond to everyone that leaves a comment on my videos. So that's something that if you are running a YouTube channel, and if it's not so overwhelmingly big, and if you do have this huge channel, you don't want to just ignore people. You want to try to talk to them as much as you can, and try to answer things, or at least respond in your videos to questions you have. And I know a lot of people do that. But in addition to just YouTube comments and people who respond to, you know, things I put out there over YouTube, and you know, there's also, of course, Instagram and Facebook. I'm not as good as getting back to people on that, and I apologize if I just went through a bunch of Instagram messages that I didn't even know were there, because just the way the alerts work, sometimes I'm not alerted to those, and I don't really go real deep into some of that stuff. So I was like, hey, I'm sorry, this was a month ago you commented, and you know, and then I try to respond. But as far as the YouTube, I do keep on top of that. Yeah, here we're back to working on some colors. So just gonna do, just got a lot of metal armature and things like, not armature, because that's an entirely different thing, armor. And then I'm just using whatever alcohol-based markers I have. I'm using some Ohuhu markers, some Artist Loft. I use Copics. I'm using the Pantone Triumph markers, some Chameleon markers. I just mix and match all the markers that I have. Whatever has the best colors, the colors that I need, I will use them. So that's kind of how I go about that. So back to artist communities, some of the Facebook communities that I'm involved in, there's a lot of great Facebook communities. There's also Slack communities. There's some podcasts that I listen to that have really cool Slack communities. There's also Discord, which I haven't even dipped my toes into any Discord communities, but that's something I'll have to look into because I hear a lot of people are doing some cool stuff with that. I think if you guys watch One Fantastic Week, I think they have a Discord community. I'm not exactly sure, but that's, all these different places have these different communities. Ones that I do belong to or have subscribed to or I'm a member of on Facebook. I've got, of course, the 100 Days of Making Comics community. That's a big one. The Artcasters, which was started by Jeff Lafferty, and I know it's kind of got the same name as the show that I do with Josh. So the reason for that, if you go way back when, originally it was Kevin Cross, Jeff Lafferty, and myself that did the Artcasters. And before that, Jeff Lafferty had a different incarnation. So anyway, so the Artcasters Facebook, was started by Jeff, and eventually Jeff kind of left to do other things and everything. I'll have to get him back on the show pretty soon because I haven't talked to that guy in a while, and I missed that. But anyway, so the Artcasters community, not exactly affiliated with what we're doing with the Artcasters, but still an awesome community, and it's pretty big. People go on there, share their artwork and everything. There's another one I belong to called the Artist Alley Network. If you're exhibiting at comic conventions and things like that, that's a great one. There's a lot of great information that I've gotten from that community. Peter Palmiotti started a comic book community called Creator Owned. So if you're creating your own original comic books, that's a really cool one, and that's a fairly big size. That's a fairly decent sized community too, as well. So a lot of people doing some really cool stuff with that, and then there's some other ones like digital comic communities and things like that, which, because I don't do all my work digitally, I'm not on there all the time, but there's just depending on what you're into, there is a Facebook or a Slack or a Discord community, I assume, that you can be involved with. So yeah, it's just really cool that we have the opportunity to make friends and and kind of network and everything. And even like in real time, I had this network I was talking about before that I created with some friends of mine. It kind of fell apart, but every once in a while we still meet together. And just recently, one of my friends from there contacted me about exhibiting at sort of a pop-up art gallery, which is pretty cool. And I'll talk to you a little more about that in the future, but that's pretty much all I had to say about artist communities today. All right, so another one down. We've got 3 and 1 more to go for this challenge. And the challenge will not be over after I do the next one. But I might stop doing videos because I got a lot of other stuff that I want to do. But I just wanted to, Marshall, Lee, and I, who I'm collaborating with on this project, we just wanted to kind of, at least kind of introduce this whole idea of Take Me to Your Leader Tuesday, and then hopefully you guys can run with it. So let me know in the comment section if you like this challenge, if you're participating in this challenge, and share your work. And sometimes, as I mentioned before, sometimes when you leave links in YouTube, it thinks it's spam. So if the link doesn't go through, I'll try to look through the spam folders and see if there's any legitimate posts of people that are actually not trying to get me to do like sub for sub or something like that, and actually want to share their artwork and everything. So I will try to check for that stuff. And like I said earlier, maybe hook you up in the playlist and everything. And by the way, there is a playlist for Take Me to Your Leader Tuesday. It'll have my videos and Marshall's videos and all that stuff. So check that out. Also check out Marshall's links to his channel in the description here, and there'll be an annotation, I think, at the end that'll link to whatever he's doing this week. I'm anxious to see that. But I will see you guys later. That is all. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me here in the Art Lab. There's a lot of other great content on the channel, so click that subscribe button and you won't miss a thing. If you're an aspiring evil genius, visit Serkworks.com for all your mad science supply needs. And if you want to contact me, hit me up in the comments section or follow me on social media. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you then.